Well, guys, here we are. The Super Bowl is set. It's the Kansas City Chiefs facing off against the Philadelphia Eagles. First, let's give credit to the Chiefs' defense. They played an incredible game. They seemed to know exactly what to do to stop Josh Allen and the Bills. Josh Allen had 237 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and added another 39 rushing yards. Still, the Chiefs' defense stepped up when it mattered most. They stopped Allen multiple times on those short yardage tush pushes. It was clear they did their homework. They knew Allen liked to roll to his left, and they shut him down. Now, Allen probably won't win MVP this year. I think that honor will go to Lamar Jackson. But honestly, Allen deserves credit. He lost his 2 best receivers in the offseason, yet he carried the Bills all the way to the AFC Championship. That's no small feat. However, there's a reason the Bills struggle to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. When the game is on the line, the Chiefs make big plays, and the Bills don't. Take that 3rd down, for example. Chiefs defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo dialed up a corner blitz for the first time all game, and the Bills were caught completely off guard. You can't blame them. No one saw it coming. That's why Spagnuolo is so respected and keeps getting head coach interviews. Even though he hasn't landed a head coaching job, it shows how sharp he is. If the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, Spagnuolo will extend his NFL record for most Super Bowl wins as an assistant coach. Pretty impressive, right? Looking back at the Chiefs' season, they've been dominant. They finished 15-2 in the regular season, and their 2 losses only happened because they rested their starters in Week 18. Year after year, this team makes deep playoff runs. They've built a dynasty. Their grueling training camps pay off, and no one has been able to consistently stop them. In the past, Tom Brady was their kryptonite. Brady beat them in the AFC Championship and later in the Super Bowl with the Buccaneers. But now, Brady's retired, and the Chiefs are back to dominating. Sure, Joe Burrow and the Bengals got one big win against them a few years ago, but since then, Patrick Mahomes has taken over the league. It's not just Mahomes, though. Players like Kareem Hunt and Xavier Worthy have been clutch this postseason. Hunt rushed for 64 yards in the last game, while Worthy caught 6 passes for 85 yards and a touchdown. Worthy also added 16 rushing yards. Funny enough, the Bills traded down with the Chiefs to let them draft Worthy, just like they did when the Chiefs picked Mahomes. Once again, it's Kansas City coming out on top. I was also impressed by Juju Smith-Schuster. He made 2 big catches for 60 yards, both at key moments. One was during the opening drive, and later he had another explosive play. Hollywood Brown chipped in with 35 yards, but the real challenge for defenses was Kansas City's ability to force man-to-man coverage. The Chiefs are just too good against zone defenses, and that opens up matchups. Travis Kelce didn't have a big game statistically, only 19 yards. But he still played a vital role. He drew so much defensive attention and was excellent as a blocker. Sure, I bet on him and lost. But it's hard to be upset when he still contributed so much to the team. Then there's Samaje Perine, who only had 17 rushing yards, but those yards came at the perfect time. His first down run was a game changer. If the Chiefs hadn't converted there, the Bills would have had a chance to turn the game around. But they didn't. The Bills had so many opportunities to win, but they just couldn't capitalize. I know some fans will complain about the referees and calls favoring the Chiefs, but honestly, Buffalo had no excuse to lose this game. They had every chance to take control, but once again, they didn't make the big plays when it mattered most. Whether people like it or not, the Chiefs earned this win. On paper, the Bills might have looked like the better team. They were playing their best football of the Josh Allen era. They even had a solid game plan to beat the Chiefs, but playoff history repeated itself. The Bills can beat Kansas City in the regular season, but the playoffs are a different story. That's where the Chiefs thrive. It was hard to believe the Chiefs wouldn't make it back to the Super Bowl. They've been dominant all year. Even though they didn't blow teams out in the regular season, they consistently won close games. That's a huge advantage in the playoffs, where games are often decided by a single score. Their 32-29 victory here was just another example. Let's not forget the Chiefs faced one of the toughest schedules in the league. When you're the defending Super Bowl champions, you're always given a brutal schedule, yet they delivered. Their only meaningful loss came against the Bills. The Week 18 game against the Broncos doesn't even count in my book. They rested their starters, and if they'd played to win, they would have beaten Denver easily. And then there's Patrick Mahomes. Let's talk about him next. Wow, what a game! Mahomes threw for 245 yards and a touchdown, completing 18 out of 26 passes. That's impressive. He didn't have to throw much because the Chiefs' running game was fantastic, racking up 135 yards. Now, Mahomes did make a couple of mistakes. One was a miscommunication with the running back, so I can't really blame him for that. The other was a funny moment when he tried to spike the ball after his rushing touchdown, but it didn't go well at all. Still, he managed to rush for 43 yards and scored 2 touchdowns. When the game gets tough, Mahomes always finds a way to step up, and this game was no different. This matchup between the Bills and the Chiefs is always exciting, and seeing two of the best players in the NFL, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, play well made it even better. But the real story was the other players on the field. The Chiefs' defense was outstanding. Josh Allen had a solid game too, throwing for 237 yards and 2 touchdowns. He didn't turn the ball over, but he did fumble 3 times. Luckily, he recovered all of them. In the final moments of the game, it came down to who could make the big plays. There was a tense moment when Mahomes got sacked near the goal line, and I thought, oh no, the Bills might have a chance. But they couldn't tie the game or take the lead. Honestly, I'm rooting for the Chiefs to win it all this season, especially over the Eagles. I just think the Eagles have the most challenging fans in football. The Chiefs have been on a roll, making it to the Super Bowl almost every year since Mahomes became the starter, except for that one close game against the Bengals. This team is creating one of the greatest dynasties in sports history, similar to the New England Patriots when they won 6 Super Bowls with Tom Brady. The Chiefs keep getting better every season. They fix their offensive line issues and improve their defense with smart picks and trades. Players like Trent McDuffie had an amazing game, while Keon Coleman only caught 1 pass for 12 yards. Even Amari Cooper and Khalil Shakur had quiet games, with Cooper getting just 33 yards and Shakur 46 yards, most of which came in the first half. Outside of Josh Allen, Matt Collins really gave the Chiefs some trouble. James Cook had an impressive game, rushing 13 times for 85 yards and scoring 2 touchdowns. He played like a man on a mission. Allen, Collins, and Shakir caused some problems for the Chiefs in the first half, but overall, the Chiefs' defense was outstanding. Dawson Knox had just 1 catch for 7 yards, and Dalton Kincaid only managed 2 catches for 13 yards. This shows how well the Chiefs' defense played. As for the Chiefs' offense, it's not the same as last season. They've become a much more efficient team. They did have a turnover, but in their last 10 games, they hadn't turned the ball over at all. This was an incredible game, and I'm not surprised the Chiefs came out on top. I think this was the Bills' best chance to win, even though they were on the road. They lost to the Chiefs at home last season too. Honestly, this was the first time I felt the Bills had a better roster than the Chiefs, but they still lost. At this point, I wonder if Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson will ever beat Mahomes when it really counts. The only quarterback who has done it is Joe Burrow, but look at what the Bengals have done since then. Not much. The Chiefs are going to keep dominating the AFC and the NFL, and there's not much anyone can do about it. And yes, there was a moment when Xavier Worthy's catch might have hit the ground, but that's not what decided the game. The outcome was all about the Chiefs having a better game plan and executing it well. Josh Allen deserves the MVP award, but in the end, it's all about winning Super Bowls. Mahomes just keeps getting it done. We'll talk about the Chiefs versus Eagles matchup probably tomorrow, but for now, enjoy the win. Don't forget to subscribe to Daily Chiefs. I'm out. Peace.